Car stuck in snow on the N1 between Beaufort West and Richmond. And Eskom technicians cannot restore power supply in some areas in the Eastern Cape. I'm Nebo Changela with this news update. A passenger bus and a number of cars are stuck in thick snow on the N1 highway between Beaufort West and Richmond. Western Cape Traffic Chief Ken Africa says they've dispatched rescue teams. The N1 highway between the Western Cape and Johannesburg remains closed due to heavy snowfalls. Hundreds of motorists are queuing up on the road, unable to move further. Africa says officers are on the scene.
Apparently, it's light motor vehicles with families and young children in the vehicles, and then also a passenger bus with over 60 passengers also trapped in the snow. Our disaster management team are currently busy making the necessary arrangements and plans to get to those people to assist and to rescue them.
Eskom says its technicians cannot restore power supply in some areas in the Eastern Cape due to extreme weather conditions. Eskom provincial spokesperson Dombe Kaya Mafumbata says the affected areas include the Titi Kama, Storms River and some farming areas around Jeffreys Bay. She says they are also unable to reach inland areas around Queenstown and Aliwal North because of the snow.
The challenge mostly is that now we're unable to access the areas to be able to restore the supply because of the wind speed, as well as some areas that have caught the storm in the area. But mostly as well within the Queenstown area and our North area, there has been a very, very bad storm that has resulted in us not being able to access the areas. However, we've got people on standby in areas that we're unable to access, and as soon as we can, we'll be able to restore supply.
Limpopo Premier and ANC Chairperson Castle Matale have criticized the use of state security during the Nelson Mandela Memorial Lecture delivered by President Jacob Zuma at Shayandi Maniatoyando. He was speaking during the welcoming of the ANC centenary flame at Nkowankowa outside Tanin. Police used tear gas and allegedly pepper spray to control a rowdy crowd during Zuma's memorial lecture. A person has died after allegedly inhaling pepper spray. Matale says it's unacceptable to use police to maintain discipline at an ANC event.
We cannot allow a situation wherein we are unable to maintain order and discipline within structures of the movement to an extent that our event will be characterized by barbed wires, water cannons, and tear gases, and all those sorts of things. It can't happen in a gathering of the African National Congress. Once things like this happens, you must know there is a big problem in the organization.
And the parents of baby Michael have started to serve their 10-year respective sentences for abusing their child. Bradley O'Connor and Melinda Marshall were sentenced in the Johannesburg Regional Court yesterday for assaulting their son, who was 3 months old at the time. Their actions left the child blind and brain damaged. He died at the age of 6 as a result of his injuries. O'Connor and Marshall argue that they were only 18 when the abuse started and that this should be taken into account during sentencing. But Vizentia Dlamini Ngobese of the organization Women and Men Against Child Abuse says they pleased that the magistrate rejected their argument.
What the magistrate also said is that the youth, because at the time they were arguing that they were 18 years at the time, so youth cannot be used to say that they cannot be responsible for their actions. So we're hoping that all the public out there